Calculate conversion rates for functional skills questions. So I'm just going to write that title on the board here. Conversion rates. So with these type of questions, they're never something that you need to learn. You never need to know what the actual number translations are, because they'll always be given to you in the question. So we'll start off with a really common type of one of these, and that's when you look at currency rates. So, and this is useful obviously for real life situations as well. So if we look at a rate, like I say, this will be given to you in a question if it did crop up. If we have a rate of £1 equals 1.35 euros, and quite often, just to highlight this even more, it will be in a box, so it does suggest to you that this is a given rate. Now this will be in a scenario, perhaps you're going on holiday and they say that you've got £500 to spend. You're going on holiday to Spain and you want to know how much you're going to have in terms of euros, so we need to convert that into euros using this above rate into euros. Now with these questions, what's important is this number on the right hand side that isn't equal to 1. You never need the part of the conversion rate that is 1, so £1, and that is the same sort of story for any conversion rate you have. You'll always have one of a unit equals a number like I've just highlighted that isn't 1. And the reason for that is if you times or divide any number by 1, it will just stay as the same number, so it's kind of irrelevant in that sense. What we're needing is this 1.35 side. And in terms of converting that £500, we're either going to do 500, as I say, times that 1.35 figure, or we're going to do 500 divide by that 1.35 figure. Now, to some of you, it may be obvious as to which one this is going to be, but in terms of learning this method from scratch, we always advise that you do both of these calculations first, because then you can check from your answers which one makes the most sense and which one will be correct. So for that top one, if we get the calculator up, that's 500 times 1.35. So we get 675 exactly. So that'll be, remember, 675 euros, because we've been going from pounds to euros. And then for the bottom one, 500 divided by 1.35. So type that in. So that gives us quite a long and nasty number, but when you get a number like that, it's always worth rounding it to 2 decimal places, especially when you're looking at money, because that'll work out as euros and cents or pounds and pence. So 370.37 we can round that down to. So it's 370.37 euros. So like I say, we've got 2 answers now, but only one of them can be correct. And the reason I've said to do both ways to check is if we go back to our original rate, what this is telling us in essence is that euros are always going to be a higher value than pounds. So our answers need to fit with that. So we need to look at which line fits in line with that. In the first one, euros are indeed a higher value than pounds, so that's going to be the correct way to do it. In the bottom one, the euros are a lower value than the £500, so that literally doesn't make any sense, it doesn't work. So to work out this question, all we had to do was 500 times 1.35, and that gave us the value in euros. We'll look at another example of this as a different type of conversion rate. So this time we're going to do 1 foot in terms of length equals 0.305 meters. This time we're going to start with meters and convert into feet. So we'll use 15 meters. I say we'll change that into feet. And again, some of you may think it's obvious which way to do this, but as I said before, if you're not 100% confident, calculate it both ways first to check your answers. So that first one, we always use the number that we're changing from first, So it'll be 15 meters times by 0.305. As I say, you can essentially ignore the 1 because it doesn't do anything to the number. We're going to use this side of the equation. So we can do 15 times 0.305, or we can do 15 divided by 0.305. And just while we're on that, make sure, as I say, that the 15 side always comes first and we divide by the 0.35, because if we do it the opposite way round, 0.305 divided by 15, we'll get a very different and a much smaller number. So it's important that this conversion number always comes first when we're doing divides. So if we get the calculator back up, we can work both of these out now. So the first one, again, 15 times 0.305. Oh, I've put in 5 there by accident. 15 times 0.305. That gives you 4.575. So that is going to be 4.575 feet. And for the bottom one, we're going to do 15 divided by 0.305. So that gives you, again, a really long number, but we can round it to 49.18. So 49.18 feet. Okay, so now we refer again to this original conversion rate. If we look at that, what it tells us is that feet always have to be higher than meters. So which one of our two answers fits that? It's going to be the bottom one. So this feet number is higher than the 15 meters that we had over here. So that's the correct way to work it out. As you can see, this example, it worked out that it was a divide, not a times. So as I say before, if you're not sure, just do the calculation both ways, and that should help you get to the correct answer. And that's the end of this tutorial on conversion rates.